Liam from Idle Ruin, welcome to Nightbreed. How you going, man?
I'm well, thanks for having me.
No, thanks for coming on. It's good. So back in 2020, obviously, not a great year. But it was for you. Like lots of bands are, in their houses doing nothing. You guys start Idle Ruin, right? Is that right? Is that when it all sort of kicked off?
Essentially, yeah. So 2020, the lockdown happened, and around the same time, a lot of the bands I was in were coming to a bit of a halt or breaking up. And I'd had ideas for a project that I wanted to start for myself.
Hmm.
And this was the time, this was the place to start it. So
Yeah,
started writing some songs and then recorded what became the first Idle Ruin EP.
cool. And like I know a lot of your stuff has that sort of folklore theme. Was that always the idea from the start that you wanted to sort of write folklore theme stuff?
It sort of just happened that way. Like the first song that I wrote was The Devil's Trade. That was a song I'd written like about probably 7 years ago when I was still in Malachite. It was a rejected Malachite song,
Hmm.
and it was a book that I was reading about true crime and horror stories from my hometown of Brisbane. And I made the mistake of reading that story at about 2 a.m. while I was home alone.
Yeah.
And the story is about like a guy who gets crushed to death by a printing press because of a curse upon the building. There was a rumor that if workers didn't remove their wedding rings, bad shit would happen to them. And this happened to a poor, unfortunate apprentice. And just realizing that a lot of bands from my hometown, like a lot of punk bands sing about like Brisbane stuff, but not a lot of metal bands do. I thought, well, this is just something that we can do.
Yeah, it's cool.
Good campfire stories, yarns and folk tales. And
Yeah.
I'm not very good at writing lyrics, so it was just easy for me to draw from that kind of inspiration.
Yeah, that's cool. And I've watched some live videos of you guys. You got a big sound for a three-piece. Like, that's pretty impressive, man. How do you think that sort of happens? Like those three guys making a big noise like that?
Um, couldn't really speak for Caleb, our guitarist, but yeah, he's got quite a monstrous sound coming out of his. Well, I think so anyway. And but also we I think a lot also has to do with Tim, our bass player. We try to treat him like a second guitarist, not just like a bass player out just noodling in the background. He's a guitarist first as well, who's come onto bass,
Hmm.
and yeah, we try to utilize what he can bring as big as possible, as much as possible. And I mean, we always give him the odd bass player joke now and again, but he'll always be quick to defend himself. Like, I'm a guitarist first. It's like, but at the end of the day, we try to treat him like a second guitarist and first and foremost.
Yeah, cool, man. So August 2022, the Malefactors split with German
Mhm.
band Boundless Chaos. How'd you get together with those guys?
Well, originally, when we were about to release the first self-titled EP, a label from Germany contacted us and asked if we wanted to release it on vinyl as a side to a split with Boundless Chaos. They were more willing to just release it on their own. We were more willing to release our thing on its own. But we kept in touch with them. We said, let's do a split in the future. We started recording some new stuff when it looked like COVID lockdowns weren't going to go away anytime soon. We decided to write some more material, record some more material, and that ended up being the Malefactors split. And the Boundless Chaos guys they're awesome. They're a really cool sort of brutal death thrash band from Germany. Really, really good stuff.
Yeah, nice. And while we're talking about other bands, what else have you been checking out lately, music wise?
To the Dogs, who are really awesome black and crust punk band from Milwaukee in the United States. Steel Bearing Hand from the United States as
Yeah,
well.
I
Really,
like
really,
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
really good band.
Hmm.
Vexation, I'm
Oh,
wearing
yeah.
right now from Melbourne.
Mhm.
We played a couple of gigs with them. We're playing with them again in Melbourne later in March. Who else? Caleb's really been getting into Artificial Brain from US. Who else? Who else have been listening to? Enforced as well.
Mhm.
The Kill Grid album is really, really good. So yeah, just and yeah, really dig in a lot of the sort of crossover thrash death stuff, and a lot of crust punk and power violence stuff lately. So yeah, was interviewed on Triple Z last night on the midnight show, and that was playing. Marty was playing a whole bunch of like crust punk and power violence. I'm just jotting down all these notes, being like, I've got to check that out in the morning. Got to check that out. So
yeah, cool.
Yeah.
That's great. So October last year, you guys put out Delta Hexatoxin, the single.
Correct.
Yep. The video looks cool. Where'd you shoot that? It's like in a bush somewhere.
Yeah. So, have you been to Queensland before?
No, I haven't. Yeah.
Okay. So there's a town about 3 hours north of Brisbane called Gympie.
Uh-huh.
And Tim's parents, they own a property up there. And they just said, well, come on up, we'll feed you. We'll put a couple of mattresses down for you.
Cool.
We shot the film clip up there just on the property in the middle of like a bit of forest and stuff. And sadly, I was suffering from a bit of hay fever on the night we were recording. So here we are recording with fire and smoke, and it was all getting into my face, and my eyes were red, and good thing we had the red glow of the fire, because you would have seen it.
Yeah. Like people just think you're like emotionally into it or something, right? It's all right.
Or doing one of these.
Yeah. December, you got the Sycophant single came out through Bitter Loss Records. How did you get together with Bitter Loss?
They'd done some releases with some of the bands that we played with before and seen around, like The Plague, Vexation, Pestilence, really, really awesome death metal band from Brisbane, who we're good mates with. And we just basically hit them up. We asked if they wanted to do a vinyl release of our first EP, which they did. We put a few bonus tracks on that. And I hit them up again. It was really just pretty simple, sort of just email contact saying, hey, you want to do this? And they're like, and Rob was just like, yeah, dig what you guys do. And so the album is coming out next Saturday on, I don't know when this is getting released, but yeah, on Saturday, the 21st of January through Bitter Loss. And just on CD and digital to begin with. We are working on a vinyl release. With the way things have been lately, it's just been easier to get CD and digital out first. But vinyl is coming.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I think it's the same for everyone. Everyone's waiting on vinyl, hey? Like it's a bit tricky at the moment. But yeah, the Fell Tyrant out Jan 21st. It'll probably be out when this is on the internet. So links below, everyone. Check it out. How's the writing? There it is. How's the writing process on this one? Like, are you sort of writing everything, or has that kind of changed since you first got together?
It has changed a bit. Like when I wrote the first EP, it was going to be a studio solo thing at the time, but then when it looked like I was going to be staying here in Australia for a little while longer, because I was planning on moving to the UK in 2020, and the EP was going to be like a demo I was going to take with me to get a lineup with. But when it looked like I was going to be sticking around for a little bit longer, Tim and Caleb, we decided, well, let's write this album together. It's been more of a collaborative effort. So yeah, it's 9 songs. We've all actually contributed an even share of 3 tracks each, 3 members. So yeah, 9 songs.
Yeah.
And the title, The Fell Tyrant, goes back to the whole local folklore thing. So Brisbane used to be a penal colony. And the commander, Patrick Logan, he was known to be quite barbaric to the prisoners. So, and he was often called the Fell Tyrant. And it's kind of a play on words, because he's the Fell Tyrant, but he's also fallen to hell. And those are the souls of the prisoners coming to get him.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. So what's John Weber did the artwork here? Yeah, it's
Correct,
cool. Yeah. So did you say that's, we want this, we want, something like this for the cover?
Yeah, exactly. And we did a really, really rough drawing on a piece of paper and just said, hey, can we do something like this? And he's like, that's cool, but why don't we try it this way? I'm like, yeah, that's even better. He also did the front cover for the Grotesque Arena by Feculent, if you've heard of them.
Mm-hmm.
Brisbane death metal band that Caleb was also guitarist in. And yeah, it was a no-brainer just to approach him for the artwork.
Yeah, cool. And so this album was mastered by Dave Byrne, right?
Dav Byrne, yeah.
Dav Byrne, sorry, yeah. So again, with that one, like, does he just kind of take it and do something with it, or do you sort of have we're going for this sound, some kind of instructions for that?
Interesting you say that, because we did kind of have people in mind when we approached for our recording. So for the first two EPs in the album, we got the same engineer, who's Brendan Auld he's the guitarist of Descent and Resin Tomb. And because he's more of a death metal guy with a bit of a hardcore punk background, we wanted that raw, edgy sound that he specializes in. We didn't, my background is mostly in thrash metal. We had a lot of people say, hey, if you want to record with us, come to us. But I had a feeling what kind of sound that they'd bring, which would be more that sort of like Warbringer sound, which I was not going for. So we thought, well, let's go with people who have a different approach to this. So Brendan had that death metal hardcore punk background, and we got Joel Grind from Toxic Holocaust to master the two EPs, the first two, because even though he's a thrash guy, he specializes in a lot of hardcore punk and death metal and stuff as well. But Dav Byrne, we couldn't approach Joel because he was unavailable. He was on tour. We went with Dav because he's done like Issuar, Shatterbrain, a bunch of like, extreme metal bands, and we just hit him up and said, look, can you work your magic on this? And yeah, he was agreeable to it.
Yeah, cool. Nice one, man. So you guys are playing the Bearded Lady Jan 21st, and then you got shows Adelaide, Melbourne, and Sydney to sort of launch the album. You played those states before, right? You get a pretty good reception over there.
Adelaide is probably our favorite place to play.
Cool.
We've played there twice already. We played New Dead last year. It was 2 p.m. and we played to a packed house. It was amazing. Felt really welcoming. And then we played there again in October. Played the Crown and Anchor, and then we got invited to play a house party the night after.
Oh, nice.
And that was a lot of fun. Melbourne, we played Desecrator's farewell show, and we felt like a little bit of a fish out of water there. Like we were slightly heavier band to what all the other bands that were playing, but no, we had fun. And Sydney, we played one of the last shows at Frankie's Pizza. So RIP that venue, but we played there twice. We've had great times there, but we'll see how things go this time around.
Yeah, cool. I don't know, it's a bit of a trek, but do you think you'll make it over to WA at some point?
If maybe we'll see.
Yeah. Cool. So the album's coming out. It'll be out now if anyone's watching this. The people who are watching this link below. Do you have any plans for are there any videos or anything off this one? Any more singles?
Well, we've got the Sycophant single up at the moment. We'll probably do some more video content in the near future for the album. So we might do some like videos of us on the road and things like that kind of thing. But as for more singles, we'll probably just release the album as it is online, and nice. Cool. No, good, man. Awesome. Well, look, good luck with the tour, and I'm keeping an eye out for that vinyl, man. I'll be grabbing one. So we'll let you know.
Cool. All right, awesome, Liam. Thanks for your time, mate. Have a good one, man.
Thanks, Ben. Take care.
Yeah.